Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm so delighted you could join us this week. I'm Julie, your host, and my intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a whole bunch of callers on hold. It'll be fun to see what their questions are and see what Spirit's answers are. It's always a crapshoot with this show, and that's what makes it so much fun because everybody's questions are different. So let's start off with Bob Heske. Bob, welcome.
Hey, Julie. Thanks for having me on the show.
You are so welcome. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Everybody, Bob is the host of a podcast called Afraid of Nothing, the Afraid of Nothing podcast. Isn't that a great name? And I got to be on his show, a couple of weeks ago, Bob?
Yeah. And you were fearless, true to form, Julie.
Well, what can I say? You live long enough and then you realize that most stuff isn't as scary as we think it is when we're younger. I think that age thing really helps us get clarity. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, right there with you.
Yeah. Well, please tell everybody a little bit about your show and then we'll tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and your show in a minute here, but we've got the links up on all my social media and Ask Julie Ryan on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all those places. But please tell us a little bit about the work you do and about your show.
Sure. Well, I should say I work by day, so I'm in financial services and marketing by day, but in the evening, the podcast really started probably about 3 or 4 years ago as a documentary. I made a documentary called Afraid of Nothing. And I made the documentary based because I had a mother who had dementia and she passed. And it inspired me because when she passed, it kind of left me a little cold. And I felt like I was kind of looking at life through tunnel vision. And I was kind of surrounded by people, my ex-wife and I have a daughter who has autism, who has some certain amount of psychic ability. And I had just made another film a couple of years earlier, and I had a lot of connections in Salem, Massachusetts. So I started doing a kind of a quest where I went out and I interviewed people ranging from psychics to EVP experts to shamans to even science people, and just trying to find out what they see. And that's what the documentary Afraid of Nothing was about. And it's really kind of a double entendre. It's half the world thinks nothing happens when we die, and the other half thinks, we go on, so there's nothing to worry. So I found it really interesting to do that documentary. And it had a short festival run. It's on Amazon Prime and a couple other places. It gets pretty good reviews overall. And then when COVID hit, I figured I'd be alone for a while. I was suddenly working from home. I kept my job. But I figured what better time to do a podcast, so it's going to be alone, and start talking to a bunch of interesting people. And I've been doing it for the past 18 months and talking to a lot of great people like you.
Is there anything in particular of all of the guests that you've had that you didn't know that really just caught you by surprise? Something that really you had to ponder after you talked to the person because you were like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way.
I was on a guest on another show called a guy named Jim Harrell, who has something called the Paranormal Podcast and Campfire Tales, and he's like the godfather of paranormal podcasts. He's been doing this since like 2005, and I'm in the same camp as him. Is the more you do it, the less you know, because I talk to I talk to shamans. People sometimes are guests that tell me their personal ghost stories. I will talk to people like you that are medical intuitives. I talk to just a wide range of people. So it just keeps opening up more and more things for me. I mean, I really enjoyed our conversation because I love the idea of someone who can scan people and kind of read their energy. I thought that was a fascinating topic. And it aligned with another person I had talked to before, a person who had talked about remote viewing, and that's kind of what you do as well. So, I don't think there's anything that's blown my mind. I think if I was going to pick one thing, let's see, it would be I had one guest that wrote a book, very religious guy, but he talked about there being multiple heavens, just like the world. There's like all these different countries you go to. There's different flavors of people and cultures, societies. He was kind of shocked when he did some astral traveling where he discovered that heaven actually was a lot of different versions of it, and it wasn't And really, if you were a Christian or a Muslim, it didn't matter. It was really kind of like you could explore different variations of it. And that was probably one of my top 10 shows, which was kind of a lesser known author, but it was an interesting take, and it was interesting to hear him talk about it.
Yeah. Well, what I hear from spirit, and again, I do the medical intuitive stuff a lot, but I'm a buffet of psychicness. So what I teach and what my experience has been is when we connect with spirit, then we can do anything we want with it. We can talk to dead people. We can talk to spirits of alive people. We can astral travel. We can do past life stuff. We can do medical stuff. We can talk to trees. I mean, whatever. And what I hear from spirit is that anything, when we're in non-physical, when we're in heaven, we think of something that we're interested in, and it immediately manifests, which I'm not saying heaven's boring, but that's why spirits want to incarnate, is because they want to manifest things over time. They think it's fun for us to come here and, think of an idea and then figure out how to manifest that idea, whether it be something that we judge as good or bad. Because what I hear from the spirit world is that there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad. It's just an experience, which is hard for us to wrap our human minds around because of all that goes with that. So interesting. Well, there? Go ahead.
I was going to say it's another person I talked to is a guy who did EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. He talked about an experience where he kind of traveled out of his body into like the afterlife, and it was kind of interesting. He said something that a lot of people do agree with. He said, "Here on Earth, it's air, it's material, but on the other side, it was love and consciousness. It was more like love, and the overpowering energy was love, and all positive, good things." And I was wondering if is that what you find too when you talk to spirit, and if you ever kind of travel outside of this existence, it's energy, but it's really love, and it's all just kind of an amazing type of experience.
All the time, many times every day, especially when I'm working with clients. And I laugh. I say, it's kind of like Bewitched. Did you watch Bewitched as a kid? Are you old enough to remember the TV show Bewitched?
Sure.
Where Samantha Stevens,
absolutely.
For those of you that don't know, Bewitched, or those of you from another country, Bewitched was a TV show about a witch that married a human, and what transpired when a witch was married to a human. But she was a good witch. But she would snap her fingers, Bob, and she would be in another location instantly, and she would yell, "Mother," and her mother would come in, or her father, or her Uncle Arthur, or Dr. Bombay, or all characters that were on the show. And when I was a kid, I used to think, I want to be just like Samantha Stevens when I grow up. And guess what? I am now. And that's what I teach people how to do. So I laugh because whoever wrote that screenplay of that TV show knew woo-woo. I always say, yeah, they knew woo-woo, because what they talk about on that show is very much what I experience. So that's fun. I haven't figured out how to wiggle my nose yet.
Yeah, that's an analogy I never heard of. That's a great one, though. It is interesting. It's funny. A lot of the older shows do kind of foreshadow what we're dealing with today that we thought was just fantasy back then. But there's kind of a sense of realism. Anything that's created, it starts probably even folklore starts from some true event that inspired it, right?
Oh, yeah. And we always, before we start the show, all my guests, we always welcome Blake, my producer. And I always say he's the man behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. And the Wizard of Oz has so much spiritual stuff and woo-woo stuff in it. And then the other one that's really recent is Frozen 2. Frozen 2 is full of woo-woo. Full.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's written really way more for the adults than it is for the kids. I think I've watched it 7 times, and every time I watch it, and then I've watched the documentary of it being made twice, and every time I watch it, there's something new that I see. It's that special. So I highly recommend it. Well, Bob, tell everybody how they can find you, how they can find your show, all of that.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of similar to how they find, AskJulieRyan.com. I have a website. It is called www.afraidofnothingpodcast.com. And on that website, you can have access to all of the, I have only 63. You're my 63rd episode. I've been doing it 18 months. I know you're up to getting close to 300 now on your show. But you can go there, you can find it. But also, if you're on for the podcast listeners, just like with AskJulie.com, any streaming device, Apple, Google, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, it's on all the major ones. So you can find it there as well. And if you're interested in checking out the movie, if you have Amazon Prime, just Google the Afraid of Nothing documentary. It's also on Vimeo, and it's on a paranormal kind of streaming platform called Cosm, QOSM.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that one before. I'll have to check that out, see what they've got. Well, Bob, thank you so much for joining us. You are an absolute delight, and I had such a ball being on your show, and our conversation, I thought, just kind of was interesting because we covered a lot of different topics within the time that we had together. So everybody, check out my appearance on Bob's show. You can link to it off of anywhere on any of my Ask Julie Ryan platforms too on social media. So everybody stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get some more callers on and see what their questions are. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go right to the phones. And our first caller is Brent. Hi, Brent.
Hello, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Better than last week.
Yeah, you called in last week and your son was in the ICU on a ventilator. So I've had several emails this week. I'm so glad you called back because I've had several emails say, what happened to Brent's son? So can you give us an update?
Sure. He is out of ICU. He's actually home, and he's doing better. He's still feeling a little weak and sore from having ventilator shoved down his throat and stuff. And he is much better than he was last week, by far.
Wonderful. Wonderful. When you called in last week and you wanted me to scan him, I think the last thing you expected to hear is that he was in one of the phases of transition.
Yeah, that was totally a shocker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't edit anything I get, Brent. You know this because you've been listening for a long time, but I don't edit anything I get because everything can be healed. And who am I to decide what somebody needs to hear? I'm just the conduit. I'm the messenger. I'm the facilitator. So that is just wonderful news. Did you end up going over there last Thursday night when we got what phase he was in? Did you go to the hospital? Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hung up the phone, grabbed my daughter, and we hauled butt.
Good. I remember saying to you, I think you need to go over tonight. You were going to go over in the morning. I said, I think you need to go over tonight. If it was my child, I'd be over there. So good. I'm glad that you got over there and really delighted that he's home now. Well, how may I help you?
So I was wanting to have you having a look at Gregory to see what you see now and where we can go from here. Oh, and before I forget, I want to say thank you for your classes and stuff. I'm Brent, the Gentle Hawk Healer, and I have signed up for your angelic classes because it's time to step up the game.
Yay! How exciting! So you signed up for April of 22 because that's the class that has openings right now. October's class starts Saturday and January's class is fall, and there is one spot left in the April 22 class. I limited to 12 people, Brent, and so you got the second to the last spot, and I was so
I got 11.
Excited. Yeah, right? we have 11 so far, so there's one spot left because I limited to 12 because it's really personalized.
Right, but I think I have number 11, correct?
You have number 11. You are number 11, yes.
Right.
Yeah. Is that a lucky number for you?
That's a good number.
Okay, good. All
well,
right,
it's a double digit, 11, 11, 12, 12, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Very vibrational.
Wonderful. You're going to love it. You're going to have a ball and it's really going to ramp up, like you say, it's going to really ramp up your skills. So that'll be fun. And the other thing is that anybody that wants to do this work can do it. You don't have to have any skills coming in. You just have to speak English because that's the only language I speak. So, all right, I'm connecting to you. and from you to your son, Greg. And for those of you that are first-time listeners, how this works is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when I connect to somebody, it's as if I'm a human MRI and I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an actual MRI. So something will be identified, Brent, and then there'll be a healing afterwards if it's warranted. So here we go. I'm going to ask Greg's permission. I've got you going from you to Greg. Greg, is it okay if I scan you? He said, yes, you've been in there already. Okay, good. All right. His spirit is very much back into his body. As I told you last week, when somebody's in one of the phases of transition, it doesn't mean that they're going to exit stage left, that it's guaranteed, because people can go in and out. They can go up and down the phases. And I'm delighted to tell you that his spirit is very much back into his body. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about with the phases of transition, it's how we're surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones as we're transitioning to heaven when we're dying. Everybody goes through 12 phases. And whether your death is instant, like in a homicide or suicide, or whether it goes over days, weeks, months, even years. And there are graphics of these 12 phases of transition on my website, AskJulieRyan.com. So go over there and you'll see the graphics. But I think he was in phase 7, wasn't he, Brent, when we spoke last Thursday? Do you remember?
And just for a little background for you and everyone else, he actually stopped breathing twice, apparently once in the ambulance and then once that night.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So he died twice, pretty much.
Oh, wow. Does he remember anything from it?
Not that part. Once he got to the ambulance, he was in bad shape. In fact, that was the last words he said. His mom looked at him, I can't do this anymore, and collapsed.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So he's given me permission to scan him. I'm in his esophagus right now. And he obviously was ventilated. So it's raw in there. What I'm doing is I'm applying this white energetic cream that has healing properties in it. And it's also an anti-inflammatory. It kind of reminds me of face cream that you'd see in a jar, that white face cream. Maybe you use it. Maybe your mom used it. Maybe your wife uses it. I don't know. But that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
so that's
getting cream, right?
Getting slathered. Yeah. Anti-wrinkle cream. I always say it reminds me of the cream that you'd see inside a blue Nivea jar. My Mima used to use Nivea cream at night. So what I'm doing too is I'm looking in his lungs. His lungs are still congested. My guess is he's still coughing up some stuff. So I'm sucking out the mucus that's in his lungs. And he's still got a little bit of infection. He's still on antibiotics would be my guess. Because I'm seeing antibiotic energy, which is a hot pink color, Brent, like a fuchsia, more pink than purple. And that will help with the infection. Oftentimes when somebody has pneumonia, it can start out as a viral infection and then go into a bacterial infection. And that's what I believe has happened. The other thing I'm doing is I'm just shooting energy into him to give him some stamina. My guess is he's just absolutely exhausted. Yeah. Okay. He's on the mend. He's doing good. And keep us posted on how he's doing. I'm so glad you called in, and God bless you and him. Everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on and see what their questions are. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's go to our next caller, and it's Abina. Hi, Abina.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for taking my call.
You are most welcome. Where are you located?
In Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay, terrific. Well, welcome. Got a question for me?
Yes, it's regarding my little 10-year-old pug, Bruiser, who has not been feeling well for a number of weeks. I've had him to the vet with, no proper diagnosis. He's pretty much not interested in food anymore. And he's been throwing up, had some diarrhea, but more throwing up recently. He doesn't act sick. He's very rambunctious, as as ever, but this is a big concern for me.
Yeah. Tell me his name.
Bruiser.
Bruiser. Okay. Bruiser, you said that. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you in Boston, and then I'll connect from you to Bruiser, and we'll see what's going on with him and take it from there. So here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading up to you in Boston, and got you going to Bruiser. What kind of dog is he again?
He's a pug.
A pug. Okay. I didn't hear you last time. It kind of cut out a little bit. All right, a pug. So he's cute as he can be, isn't he? Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, he is.
Yeah, I bet. All right. Well, his spirit's in his body. Abina, he's not dying, so that's the good news. What's going on with your stomach? The first thing that came up was some kind of a bowel obstruction. He hasn't had any blood in his stool or anything that you've seen, right?
No, not at all.
I'm running his intestines here and seeing what's going on. He's going to the bathroom normally and all of that?
Yes.
Okay. I've gotten that 3 times now. Abina, when's the last time you had him at the doctor?
Yesterday.
Oh, gosh. All right. Did they run an x-ray on him?
They did an x-ray. They didn't see anything. And they said if it continues, that it could be, he would have to go to the ICU and have an ultrasound. And they did mention something about an obstruction. Maybe that.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. What I'm doing is a healing on him right now. And imagine a little corkscrew that's twirling inside his intestinal tract and it's tunneling through the obstruction. Okay, it just got through. All right, now I'm irrigating it out and seeing if that looks like it's going. Yeah, I believe that's what's going on. So if he's not better, I would take him back in because I've gotten that 3 or 4 times that he had a bowel obstruction. The way these healings work is they happen on the energetic level and then they integrate into the body, whether it be a human or an animal. And that can happen instantly. It can be days, weeks, months. It may need some kind of complementary care like surgery or medicine or something like that. So that's what I'm getting. I believe that's what's happening, but hopefully this healing will integrate quickly and he'll be just good to go for another few thousand miles.
Oh boy, hopefully.
Okay. All righty. Well, good luck. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much for your help.
You are most welcome. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Brook next. Hi, Brook.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm in sunny Queensland, Australia.
Oh, my gosh. What time is it there, girl?
It's actually 20 to 11 in the morning, so it's not bad.
Oh, good. Yeah. And so we're getting to talk to you real time in the future because it's Friday there already, right?
Yeah.
How fun is that?
That's right, it is, yes.
Talk about woo-woo. Oh, my gosh. We're talking to you real time in the future. Well, good. Well, you got a question for me?
Back to the future.
Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to know if you had any messages from Spirit for me. I have had, I'm kind of a bit lost in my life, and my parents are both unwell. I've got an ex-husband who won't leave me alone, keeps harassing me. I'm separated from my teenage children at the moment, and I'm thinking I'm in the wrong career. I'm kind of a bit all over the place, I guess.
Yeah. Who would you like to talk to, just for time's sake? That's in Spirit.
My grandmother, if possible.
Okay. What did you call her, Brooke?
I called her Nana.
Nana. All right. She's standing to your right. Yep. That's where they always stand when they come in. And you can talk to her anytime. We'll talk to her here in a second. But anytime, all you have to do is just say something to her, either aloud or in your head. She's going to answer you. It's going to come in within a second. It's going to feel like it's your thought.
Okay.
But how you know it's her is her answer is going to come in immediately. If you think about her answer for a couple of minutes, that's going to be your brain talking to you. So do you have a question for Nana?
I just would like to know if she sees things settling down for me anytime soon.
Jeez. All right. She's saying, absolutely, you're going through the thicket. She used that word, thicket. That's an old-fashioned word. She says you're going through the thicket right now. I mean, that makes me think of like a berry patch with thorns on the plants or something. And she's saying that you're almost to the other end. The key is to stay focused on what you want. When we get caught up in what we don't want, we create more of it. So have you heard me talk about the 2-minute rule, Brooke?
Yes, I have, but I'd really like to hear it again, please.
Okay. All right. Thoughts originate in the ethers and we pull them in. Thoughts do not originate in our heads. And so when we have a thought that comes in our head, it either feels neutral, good, or bad. If it feels neutral or good, it's based in love. We're in alignment with our spirit. If it feels badly, we're out of alignment and it's based in fear. It's our internal GPS system in the form of emotions that lets us know when we're in alignment or out of alignment. Now, there are two kinds of fear. There's rational fear, something's going to harm you or kill you, change the conditions. And then there's irrational fear, which is 99.9% of the thoughts that we think that feel badly. So here's the trick. When you have a thought that feels badly, you just say to yourself, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, get out of the road before the bus runs you over. If it isn't, you know it's a fake fear based in a limiting belief that's also false. And as soon as you ask that question, Brooke, you get back into alignment because curiosity is based in love. Curiosity feels good. You want to know more. And if you can use that trick, gosh, hundreds of times a day, it's free. And it's convenient because it works anywhere your brain is, and your brain's usually with you wherever you are. So I love how convenient it is. But you can use it in any situation. And there's either a yes or no answer. There are no, but, blah, 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 blah. So give me an example of something that stresses you out right now, and we'll play with it.
Okay. I get emails from my ex-husband threatening to take me to court every week.
Okay. So first of all, nobody can control what we think. We can't control what anybody else thinks, right? So he's threatening to take you to court. If he takes you to court, is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes?
No.
No. So it's a false fear, but we're all hardwired for fear. So, oh my God, if he takes me to court, then I may lose the kids, or I may lose the house, or I may whatever, and I don't have the money to take them. And, it's like we dig this black hole for ourselves with all these thoughts that we have, and we're making them all up. And they're being broadcast on a frequency that's like a radio station. And so what we want to do is we want to change the channel. And how you change the channel is you say, if he sues me, is that going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? What's the answer? No. Right? And then you're going to have another thought. Well, if I just don't answer his email, then he's going to get really mad, and then he's going to really take me to court. Well, okay. If he gets really mad, is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes? No, it's not. So every time you have a thought that comes up that feels bad, it's our spirit saying, this warrants investigation. Is this a real fear? Is this a fake fear? And as soon as you go to the 2-minute rule, you change the channel like you're changing the radio station. And then you're going to get guidance. Your Nana or your spirit guides, your deceased loved ones, your angels, all of them are going to say, okay, maybe you should look at this website. Maybe you should do this. Look into that. You know how when you go on a website, and then before you know it, you're 6 websites from where the original one was that you went on, and you're like, oh my God, I don't even remember how I got here. That's how this works.
Yes.
And we're led all day, every day, in everything we do, and we just aren't aware of it. So you're being led. Now, the key is when you use this and you make it a habit, it takes a nanosecond to do it in your head. You make it a habit. You're going to feel good most of the time, regardless of what he's doing, what he's trying to do to get you wound up or whatever. You just go, okay, fine. No, it's not going to kill me. Next. And then what's going to happen over time is you're going to feel good. You're going to attract more good feeling things. It's really that simple. That's how it works. Right. So I hope that helps.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much for your time.
Take care. You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay with us, everybody. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll see who's next. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go to Harry next. Hi, Harry.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. I'm okay. My question has to do with, two deaths recently in my life. My mother passed in early August.
I'm sorry.
And then my dear pet Angel, dog Angel, I had to euthanize early in this month.
I'm so sorry.
As my dog Angel was going, I asked her, among other things, to go and find my mom, her grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is if she was able to find my mother, and if she has any messages for me.
Yes, she's standing with your mother to your right, Harry. Harry, where are you located? First of all, let's tell everybody where you're located.
I am in Fairfax, Virginia.
Fairfax, okay. And it's cute because your mom's standing next to you and Angel's kind of in front of the two of you, kind of in the middle of the two of you. So messages from your mom or from Angel or from both? Your mom's saying we're together.
Both.
Your mom's jumping in here. She's saying we're together. She's saying, don't be sad. This place is fabulous. She's saying she's around you all the time. The dog acts like it's a puppy. Like is Angel a she?
She is.
Yeah, that she acts like she's a puppy. She's showing Angel jumping around like on her hind legs even, like a puppy. Your mom's mom, she's spending a lot of time with her. What did you call your mom's mom?
Grandma Jean.
Grandma Jean. She's with Grandma Jean. Did Grandma Jean like to play cards?
I don't know. I really don't know.
She likes to play them now because your mom's saying they're playing a lot of cards and Angel's right there, right next to her feet. She said Angel's with her all the time. And they're both with you all the time. And that's one of the cool things about being in spirit form that I hear all the time from spirit is that we can be multiple places all at the same time when we're in spirit form, and they love it. So made in the image and likeness of God, I believe that's in spirit form. God's everywhere all at the same time. We can be too when we're in spirit form. Now, did you hear me talking before about how you talk to a deceased loved one or to Angel? You just say something either aloud or in your head, and they're going to answer you instantly. And it's going to feel like it's a thought in your head, but that's how they do it. So Angel thinks you need to get a puppy, and it's okay if the puppy plays with her toys. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
I've been working on that and the messages, and I'm not ready to get a puppy yet. But
the more you talk with them, Harry, the more you're going to get answers that you're going to be able to validate. And then the more you validate, the more you trust it, the more you trust it, the more you do it. And then it's just second nature. And their answers come in instantly. Sometimes they come in before the question's even thought out or the statement's thought out all the way. And that's really fun too. And it's because they know your question. Spirits don't read our minds. A lot of people think spirits know what we're thinking. They don't, but they're here to help us when we ask for their help or ask them a question or make a statement. So I hope that helps. Thanks for calling.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Our next caller is Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
How are you?
I am calling from Saskatchewan, Canada.
Oh, terrific. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us this evening.
And thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. You got a question for me?
I do. I am wondering if you could scan my husband's shoulder.
Yeah. What's his name?
Leo.
Leo. Okay. What's going on with his shoulder? It's painful?
It's not painful. We're pretty sure that it's a torn rotator cuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's had an MRI, but we haven't gotten the results for it yet.
Okay. But he's not in pain. Usually torn rotator cuffs are really painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
that's interesting.
Not painful.
Okay. All right. But he's not able to move it, or it hurts only when he moves it certain ways?
He couldn't lift it up. It didn't hurt, but he couldn't lift his arm up. Physio is helping some.
Okay.
But he's not getting much strength back.
Okay. Here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading into you. And then from you, I'm going to connect to Leo. So, got him. Leo, I'm talking to your cute wife. Is it okay if I scan you energetically? He goes, sure. Okay. The energy went to his right shoulder first, but then it went to his left shoulder. So let me go to the right shoulder first and see what's going on there. I always follow where it goes, Kathy, and sometimes it goes to the side of the body that's doing the heavy lifting. Sometimes, because he's getting worn out. Like if he doesn't lift his left shoulder, it goes to the right shoulder. So let me see if I can see what's going on with that. I see some, it is the rotator cuff. It's not torn, but it's interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen this before. Imagine if the rotator cuff is a band. There's a section in the middle of it that's starting to disintegrate a little bit. Versus normally what I'll see is a tear or a slit in it when somebody injures it and it's all inflamed. So what I'm going to do is a healing, and it's going to use stem cell energy. Stem cell energy, Kathy, is a light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it because it's woo-woo. Got to have sparkles. And it reminds me of Dippity-Doo hair gel, which was a big when I was a kid in the 60s. You may have heard of it. And so that's filling. You've heard of Dippity-Doo. I had a gal who was a private client yesterday who was younger, and she said, I always hear you talk about Dippity-Doo, so I looked it up online. I thought that was hysterical. She goes, yeah, I looked it up. I said, well, aren't you smart? And so it's filling, it's smoothing out that rotator cuff. And then there's a vortex that's spinning above it. And that centrifugal force is what transforms the stem cell energy into new body parts. In this case, it's his rotator cuff. I've never seen that before. It's kind of like when you have a piece of material and it's, well, like a pair of pants, jeans, a kid's pants. Sometimes the knee will get worn. And so that's what I'm seeing. I hope that helps.
Okay.
Thanks for calling in.
That one that you...
All right, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers and more questions. So please stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035. And the access code is 483-620#. Now, this information is available on my website at AskJulieRyan.com and in the show notes, anywhere you download podcasts. Speaking of downloading podcasts, we're on pretty much every network that's available. We're also on YouTube and Alexa. So please remember to subscribe, and you'll get a note that the newest show is available. And leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Again, that's ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And then when you do that, I pick somebody each month. It'll be next Thursday, will be a winner for October. And that person, whoever wins, gets a free session with me, valued at a couple of $100. And the reason I do that is just to thank you to all of you who listen. And also, I understand that $200 is a lot of money for some people. And so it's a way for you to get a whole hour for free. So ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. All at Ask Julie Ryan. We always put a reminder the day of the show with all the call-in information. And that's a good way to tell. There are just a handful of times a year on Thursday. Usually Thanksgiving, I don't do a show. That's on Thursday. And if Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve is on a Thursday, I'm not going to do a show on that day either. Or if a holiday is on that show or on that day. But I'll have something fun pre-recorded for you on that. While you're on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's a question somebody has submitted. It gets chosen, and then I answer it. And that's fun. And then in the body of the email, it has all the call-in information as well. You can also schedule an appointment with me at AskJulieRyan.com. Then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want to discuss. We can talk about multiple topics, pick from my buffet of psychicness. We can scan you medically. We can talk about your dog. We can talk about your love life, your career, do past lives, whatever. It's really fun. We have a good time. And we always laugh. Every call. People say, aren't you tired at the end of the day? And I'll say, no, I'm jazzed because I get to meet people who are fabulous from all over the world. And it's just fun. It's a blast. So schedule an appointment with me. You know the trick on the appointments. Once you get on my calendar, you schedule an appointment, then you're going to get a confirmation email. At the bottom of the email, it's going to have a button that says reschedule. Click on that periodically when you think of it. So keep that confirmation email. Click on that, and it will show you when earlier appointments become available. I had somebody cancel last night at midnight for an appointment this afternoon, and somebody got in and took it this morning. It happens all the time. So keep trying that if you want to get in earlier. Also, I mentioned when Brent called in, who just signed up for my April class of next year, I have one spot left for April of 2022. The next class after that will be July of 2022. And I limit it to 12 people. And so it's really individualized, and it's so fabulous, you guys. If you're thinking about it, go ahead and take that last spot because it'll go quickly. Okay, this week, our question is from Estelle, and Estelle lives in Manchester, England. And she said, "Hi, Julie. I'm 27 years old, and I'm currently facing stage 4 terminal cancer. Firstly, could you please send some healing energy my way? Also, can you please help me meet my spirit guides to aid me in this journey? I think I've met one, but would like to hear from you about my guides if possible. Lastly, could you send a message to my grandma and Uncle Steve and ask them to watch over me, my husband, and beautiful baby girl through this time in our lives? Thank you so much, Estelle." Talk about pulling at heartstrings. When that came in, I just was like, holy Moses. And so she got chosen for this week. Here's my response. Hi, Estelle. Thanks for your note. To help you in your healing journey, I energetically connected to you and saw you're in phase 7 of the 12 phases of transition. This means you have begun the transition to heaven and are surrounded by angels and the spirits of deceased loved ones, including your grandma and Uncle Steve and pets. Everyone goes through all the 12 phases regardless of how they pass. It can happen instantly, take days, weeks, months, or even years. And you can completely withdraw from the phases. I've seen people in phase 11 decide to live and go on to experience a long life. What we were talking with Brent about earlier, his son was in phase 7 when I scanned him last Thursday. he's out of the phases and he's home and he's healing and he's off a ventilator. One of my brother's best friends was in phase 11. He was in the operating room in surgery. I really didn't think he was going to make it out of the operating room. I thought his departure was imminent. 15 years later, he's not only out of the phases, he's been living a fine life. So it can happen. Having said all that, I'm unable to do a medical scan on you while you're in the phases since your spirit is out of your body. Our spirit acts as a power source for the body. And when it's out of the body and hanging onto the top of the head, I call it the spirit bubble. It looks like a cartoon caption that you'd see where the character's words or thoughts are. When the spirit's out of the body, it's like I'm trying to look at an X-ray in a pitch black room without any electricity. It just doesn't work. I went on to say, I did, however, send healing energy to you. Please remember, everything can be healed, and a healing can take many forms. Sometimes death is the healing. As for your spirit guides, we normally have 7 around us at any given time. You have 17, and they're dispersed in the crowd of loved ones' spirits around you. Angels and deceased loved ones, the angels form a horseshoe around the person who's dying. They eventually go into a straight line at the foot of the bed. Hundreds, if not thousands of spirits. I call them the Welcome to Heaven Committee. They're behind the line of angels. So her spirit guides were interspersed in those other spirits there were multitudes of them. Your main spirit guide's name is David, and you can chat with him anytime you wish. Just say something to him either aloud or in your head. His answer will immediately come in and will feel like a thought in your head of yours. You'll know it's him when you get a response within a second. Faster you can snap your fingers, that's how fast it comes in. I'm forwarding copies of my books, Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This Life into the Next, and my children's books, Angel Messages for Kids and Angel Messages for Dogs. In addition, you may want to watch my interview with hospice director Dr. Chris Kerr, whose research shows loved ones' spirits surrounding people at the end of their lives. Hope this information provides some comfort to you and your family. Sending you big hugs from Sweet Home, Alabama. I was weepy when I read this, and I thought, okay, this is the woman that we need to answer this week. And the reason I sent her my books was to hopefully give her information, her and her family, and also provide some comfort of what's ahead. And also, her daughter, who's a baby, is eventually going to grow up and she may not have her mom. And so her dad can read these books to her and it'll help her understand. So thanks so much for submitting that question, Estelle. My gosh, what a heart-wrenching one that was. So, all right, let's go back to the phones. And our next caller is Miss Sarah. So let's go to Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Julie. Hi.
How are you, my
Hello.
girl?
Thanks a lot for taking my call. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks. Please tell everybody where you're located.
Okay. I'm located in Berlin, Germany.
So it's what, 2 in the morning there? 3 in the morning?
3:15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Up so early. Thank you for staying up to talk to us.
Yes, of course. So today I actually wanted to ask a question about my brother, my younger brother. His name is Thomas. And he told me, he recently told me that he's been having weird abdominal pains for about 6 months that come and go. And it feels as if like there's a hard spot in his belly, or if there's like some foreign object in his belly. So I'm like kind of really worried about him and wanted to ask if he allows it, if he could scan him or we could just get some more information on that.
Sure. Where is he, Sarah? Is he in Berlin with you?
No, he's like in a city in northern Germany called Greifswald. You probably wouldn't know that. It's like near the Baltic Sea. It's about
I've heard of
2.5 hours north from Berlin.
Okay. All right. I'm going to connect into you and from you to Thomas. So here we go. And it seems like the hard part of his stomach is always in the same place.
I'm not entirely sure. He was like kind of didn't really want to give me too many details, but like now that our dad has died and everything, I'm just so worried. And I want him to be fine.
Right.
But he
How old is he?
Kind of comes and goes in 20 years.
He's 20. Okay. All right. I've got him on my radar. Thomas, I'm talking to your sister, Sarah. Is it okay if I scan you? No. All right. Well, let's get some information from him. The reason why I won't scan somebody is because I think it's an invasion of their privacy if they don't give me permission. But we can talk to his spirit. And so, Thomas, what is going on with your stomach? Is it hard all the time and bothering you all the time? He's saying most of the time. I'm getting that it's yeast, Sarah. You know all about yeast. I'm getting that it's bloated, and I'm getting that that's what's going on with him. I don't think he has. Well, so let's just ask his spirit. Do you have a tumor in your stomach? No, it's yeast. I've gotten yeast 3 times.
Okay. So just yeast also?
Okay. Yeast. Get him on some nice statin. He's probably eating like crap because he's a kid. And teach him about that. And then, get him on some nice statin. Okay. Thanks for staying up. Go to bed.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, Sarah. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go to Michelle next. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. How are you?
I'm terrific, thanks. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I have a major issue with 3 of my beautiful cats, and I'm hoping you can actually speak to them. I've been telling them that you're going to talk to them.
Okay.
I've had them for 11 years. One is the mother and the 2 are the children. And they've been, I took the urine of one cat and brought it to the vet because the other ones won't leave the house. And I think it's spite. They're peeing on my bed, under my bed, pooping out of their box. It's getting to a point where I'm just so frustrated. And I love them. I don't want to get rid of them because it's not my nature. But it's been going on like 1.5 years since I got my doggie. And I have a doodle. So just hoping you could talk to them.
Yeah. So they don't appreciate that hairy big thing hanging out in your house. It's invading their territory. Oh, my gosh. What are their names, Michelle?
So they're all with S's. Selena, Sabrina, and Simba.
Hilarious. All right. And they've all been neutered? They've all been fixed?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's the mama? Selena?
Mama is Sabrina.
Sabrina. Okay.
AKA Mama.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you, and then I'm going to connect to the cats. What's your dog's name?
The dog is Charlotte.
Charlotte. All right. Does Charlotte want to play with them and they don't want anything to do with her?
Yeah. Yeah. The male cat will look at her and just, he sits on the bed and he stares at her, but the other 2, the females, they're not interested.
Yeah. And she wants to play is what I'm getting. That's what they're telling me. This dog is just a pain in the you know what, because the dog wants to play and the dog won't leave them alone. So they are messing because they're trying to they think that that's going to keep the dog away from them.
I knew that this was what it was. I mean, I wake up and go in my living room and I have a nice house. They're ruining it. Tell them that they're going to end up out if they don't stop.
Yeah.
I hope they hear you.
Well, they hear you.
I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, you're telling them yourself.
Do they know that what are they going to stop, or this is going to continue? Because I'm losing it.
Well, are you guys going to stop? Sabrina said not anytime soon. She's laughing.
Oh, my God.
I heard the funniest story, Michelle, a couple of weeks ago. I heard about a former NFL football player who used to wet his pants during the game, and he was so stinky that he would keep he did it because he wanted the other opposing team not to tackle him because he was so stinky. And I said to the person telling me the story, I said, well, did it work for him? And he said, well, he was on 3 Super Bowl championship teams. I guess it did. And I said, oh, for God's sakes, I'd never heard of such a crazy thing. So I think that's coming to mind with your cats. Your cats are trying to keep the dog away. They just don't want to be bothered.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. You want 3 cats, Julie?
No, thank you.
I need someone to help you. I know.
No,
all
thanks.
Right. So I got my answer. They're not sick or anything. That's what
No, they're not.
About.
They're on the.
I know.
They're on the offense. That's their military strategy to keep the dog away from them. All right. Good luck. Let us know what happens.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Hi, Priya. You're next. Hello, hello. Hi, Priya. Can you unmute yourself? I've got you unmuted. Okay. Well, maybe not. Let's try Lily.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, there you
Hi.
are. Okay,
Can you hear
good.
me?
Yes, I can. Hi.
Hi. Oh, wow. I can't believe I got through. Hi, I'm calling from Singapore.
Oh, my gosh. What time is it there and what day is it?
I've been dialing in every week, but I never get through, so that's why I was shocked it was me. I thought it was another Priya.
Nope. You're the only one. Hi. Welcome. What time is it there?
Hi. It's actually not bad. It's 9:30 in the morning.
On Thursday?
On Friday.
On Friday. Yeah. That gets me because the world is round. Apparently, some people think it's flat, but it's round. And then I think, okay, we talked
to the future.
Yeah. We talked to Australia, but Singapore isn't near Australia, but it's already Friday there, and it's already Friday in Australia. So how's that work? I know.
So we're only 3 hours behind Australia.
Yeah, I know. That's like complicated. That's above my pay grade for my brain to try and figure out. So I'm glad I can look online and it will tell me these things. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'd love to hear your question.
And thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
So I have. So I've been trying for a baby for a while, and it's not happening. So I just wanted you to check if there's anything going on there. And yeah, if there's anything going on there. And also I'm at a weird point in my life where I'm also kind of looking for a new job or looking for something different to do with my life. So I don't know if you could ask Spirit about that as well.
Okay.
If you have time. Thank you.
Are you taking any kind of special, making any special efforts like with IVF or any of that? And how young are you?
Okay. So, I'm not
real fast because I got to go to a break. So I'm going to hold you over. Just tell me how old you are.
Okay. Sure. 45.
Okay. All right. I'm going to check on you during the break. Everybody stay with us. When we come back, we'll see what's going on with Priya. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Priya from Singapore about having a baby, and you said you're 45. Okay, good. You said you were 45.
So I'm trying for my second child.
Okay.
So I'm trying naturally, actually. I've been trying naturally. Just been trying to do some traditional Chinese medicine, but nothing, no IVF or anything.
Okay. All right. During the break, I worked on you and I scanned you and then watched a healing happen. You have 2 baby spirits above your right shoulder. Doesn't mean both of them are going to incarnate, but you got 2 baby spirits that have attached to your energy field. These are future babies, not the baby that you already have. So they look like little orbs, Priya, that you'd see in a photograph. Maybe you've seen a family photograph with an orb in it or more. And people say, well, that must have been a piece of dust or the light was screwy. No, those are spirits. People send me those pictures all the time and they say, okay, who is this? Is this Uncle Ralph or who is this in the picture? So you have 2 baby spirits. Baby spirits attached to the mom's energy field before they're conceived. They can be birth babies. They can be adopted babies, which I think is really sweet that adopted babies attached to. They're not twins. One is behind the other. Your ovaries needed an overhaul. So that's what I spent most of the time on. I went to the left ovary first. That one, it just needed to be regenerated. So I used stem cell energy to regenerate it. You got a whole bunch of eggs in there now. You got the ovaries of a 30-year-old coming energetically.
Oh, wow.
And eggs look like blonde caviar to me. And you got lots of them in there. It only takes one, as you know. So hopefully that's going to help. I did that on both sides with your ovaries.
Oh, wow.
The other thing was on the ends of the fallopian tubes, your fallopian tubes were open. I tunneled through them and irrigated them just to be sure that they're clean as a whistle. But on the end, there are these little feathery things, and I forget what they're called. I got to look it up because I don't remember. But they were looking a little worn, and so I used stem cell energy on those as well. Those are the things that catch the egg when you ovulate, and then it goes down the fallopian tube into the uterus. Your uterus looks fine. All your girly parts, for the most part, look good. Your ovaries needed some help. So I would suggest scheduling an hour appointment with me if you can, because let's do a deep dive on this and see what's going on, see what's happening with the ovaries, and let's just see what we can do to help that along.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I checked your schedule, but I think you're busy for the next few months.
Yeah,
so I'll definitely try and get in there.
Like I always say, get on my calendar, check the confirmation email, the reschedule button. As I mentioned, I had somebody cancel last night at midnight for an appointment this afternoon. Happens every week, multiple times a week. So just get on my schedule and then check. That. Okay. All right. Thanks for calling, great. Priya. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You
Bye-bye.
Too. Bye.
Okay, let's go to the second Michelle of the evening. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm doing okay. I'm calling from California.
Yeah, where in California?
Central Valley.
Okay, terrific.
I'm in I'm in the Central Valley.
Yeah.
I'm calling to see if I can get some help with my daughter.
Yes.
My daughter's name is Maggie, and she's been suffering from multiple health issues, mental too. She's left a bad relationship about a year ago and moved from Long Beach, California to Katy, Texas. And she's having issues with constant ear infections. And they have put tubes in. They have infected so bad they've pushed the tubes out. And she needs to have tubes put in again, and they want to take her tonsils out and her adenoids. But her oxygen level is not good enough. Her spirometer today showed only 6%.
Oh, my.
So
how old is she, Michelle?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 27. She's 27. And she happens to be an RN that works for an ear, nose, and throat clinic.
So
she's well aware of, everything, but they tell her it's really her allergies. And she's had some really bad allergy issues. She's on a nebulizer now. A couple of times a day, they put her on injectable medicines to try to bring up her asthma. And she had asthma as a little kid, but then kind of got over it, and it started back up. So I don't know if it's the stress of life causing it or if it's what it is. But I'm wondering if you could scan her.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Before you even get her on my radar, I'm hearing mold. She's been exposed to mold. If she was living in Long Beach, she's, you got a lot of mold when you're living near the beach. She was,
yeah. And then she moved to Katy, Texas, which a lot of humidity there.
Mm-hmm. Right. But I'm getting that she's had some really intense mold exposure. Did she have mold in her home in Long Beach?
Not that we're aware of, but I don't know that she ever, had it checked out. She said she felt better there.
Mm-hmm. And it may be the doctor's office where she works. Sometimes it's
really?
The workplace. Yeah. It can be the workplace that's the problem. So I'm going to connect from you to her, and then I'm going to ask her permission to scan her, Michelle. So here we go. I'm bouncing all over. I'm coming from Alabama to California and then back down to Texas. So I've got that. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Maggie, I'm talking to your mama. She wants me to scan you energetically. Is that okay? Sure. It's mold. She's full of mold. Full. Yeah. So have her get a copy of a book called Toxic by Dr. Neil Nathan. He's in San Diego, and she'll pick up all kinds of tidbits before she agrees to having any surgery. If they want to put the tubes in, that's okay. But before they yank out her tonsils and her adenoids, I think she wants to read the book and start detoxing first, because her tonsils and adenoids are going to go back to normal when she detoxes. That's kind of like, I don't know, treating a cold with chemo.
Yeah, she had tonsils. Like to me. She had a lot of tonsil stones in Long Beach, and she can remove them herself with her fingers. I know that sounds terrible, but they just kind of started coming back too.
Yeah. She's being exposed to mold. She's got mold. She's being exposed to more mold is my guess. It's like her bucket's full. It's overflowing. She's in an immune response. And so that's what's going on. Have her look at Dr. Neil Nathan's work. She can Google him. He's got interviews on YouTube she can watch. It's going to resonate with her, I believe, and that'll help her feel better. Once she gets some information that there'll be some golden nuggets in there that she'll be able to access. So I hope that helps her feel better. Thanks for calling, you sweet mama.
Thanks, Julie. Thank you so
You're
much.
Welcome.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All righty. Let's go to Shauna next. Hi, Shauna.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Where are you?
I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Okay. Terrific. The city of brotherly love. You got a question for me?
Yes. I do. I was just calling to see. My mother passed away. It was 5 years on September 22nd, and I was just seeing if she has any messages for me.
Yeah, what was her name, Shauna?
Diane.
All right. She just passed this like 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
What? It was 5 years on the 22nd.
Oh, 5 years ago. Okay. All right. I heard September 22nd. I missed the 5 years thing. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm connecting to you up in Philadelphia, and then I'm going to go to, she's standing right next to you to your right. That's where they always show up when we're scanning them. Okay. Diane. Messages for Shauna. Okay. Shauna, are you single? Are you married? What's the status of that?
I'm in a relationship. Been with the same person for almost 11 years.
All right. She's saying you need to find a new man. And I thought I better find out what's going on before I told you that. She's saying you need to find a new man. So, I don't know. Is that opening up a box of worms?
Or
does that resonate with you?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay. Well, let's ask her. What? She's saying this guy's really boring, and you need to live your life. Is he boring?
No.
Okay, that wasn't very convincing. So, yeah. I don't edit anything I get. I just report what I get. I'm just the roving reporter. All right, Diane, can you be a little more specific? She's saying you carry the heavy load. He's along for the ride. You need to find a new man. That's what she's saying. Okay. She said it 3 times now. So that doesn't mean you have to do that. That means that's what she's suggesting. So thanks for calling in. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll get some more callers on. You never know what Spirit's going to say. So stay tuned because it's always a ride. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's go to the phones. And our next caller is Helen. Hi, Helen. Hi, Helen. Are you there? Hello, hello.
Yes.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi. Where are you? Where are you located?
In Ohio.
Whereabouts?
In Ohio. In the Cleveland area, Cleveland.
Okay. Terrific. I grew up in Columbus.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I know it.
I just wondered if my angels had any special messages for me,
If your angels have any special messages?
Yes.
Okay, your guardian angel?
Mm-hmm.
Your guardian angel is telling me its name is Marcus. Now, that doesn't mean that that's really its name. Guardian angels have names sometimes that are 15 letters and they're all consonants. And so over the years, they've gotten used to me saying, okay, give me an American English name that I can pronounce. So I got Marcus. Marcus is saying that the thing is, he's saying angels don't have a gender, but we equate a gender with a name. Mm-hmm. He's saying he has been around you through all your lifetimes. I hear that all the time. And he's saying all you have to do is just ask him, and he's there to help you with anything that you need. Are you recovering from something, or are you a little unsteady on your feet, or have you been?
No, I'm not. No, I've been having a little pain right behind my knee, right on the side of my knee. Okay. And I've just been doing some exercises and it's getting better. But no, I'm not, I have a little cough, but I'm not recovering. I'm feeling good. Everything's, that way.
Yeah, he's talking about that you've been a little unsteady, like walking. So that may be the pain in your knee that's going on. So he's saying he's right there with you, and all you have to do is just ask him for help, and he's there with you wherever you are at all times, and has been with you through all of your lifetimes. So I think that's the important thing to remember, Helen, is that, again, I think I mentioned it earlier that some of us believe that spirits and angels know what we're thinking. They don't. That's an invasion of our privacy and our human experience. But they're there just hoping and wishing that we're going to ask for their assistance and guidance. And all you have to do is just ask. And you've heard multiple times tonight, you ask them something either aloud or in your head, they're going to respond. And it's going to come into your head. It's going to feel like it's your thought, and it's going to come in right away. So I hope that helps, and I hope your knee feels better.
Great.
Thanks for calling. Okay, let's go to Lily next. Hi, Lily.
Hi, airplane, buddy.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Where are you? Where are you located?
Hey, get over here, you guys.
I'm calling from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Okay, you sound like you're outside at a ball game or something.
Oh, it's my husband. He's next to me yelling at the kids.
Okay, good. Tell him to stifle for a minute so we can hear you.
I know.
Please.
He he's been anxious because he's been waiting for me to ask the question. And
okay. What's your question?
What's the question? I wanted to know, my mother-in-law, his mom, passed away almost 2 years ago unexpectedly.
Oh.
And we feel like we weren't there when it happened. It was just a surprise. And my husband feels kind of guilty for it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we just wanted to know if she has a message for her, if there's anything that she wants to tell him or us.
Yeah, no reason to feel guilty. She says this is nirvana. She's in heaven. Everybody goes to heaven. We all decide when we go, where we go, how we go, who's with us when we go or not. And it's all our spirit's decision. She said if she wanted him there, she would have had him there. So no reason to feel guilty. It's all good. She's around you guys all the time. Do you guys have a dog or a puppy?
No, we don't.
Okay, she thinks you need one. She's saying you need a dog, preferably a puppy. There you go. Yeah. What was her name?
There's one that my brother brings by. Brenda Walsh.
All right. She's saying get a puppy and call it Brenda. She said get a puppy and call it after me.
She loves dogs, that's for sure.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, hopefully that'll help ease his fears. Get him a copy of my book, Angelic Attendants, and that'll help ease his fears too. So enjoy your evening. Thanks for calling. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That's it for this evening. For those of you that I didn't get on, please call back next week and I'll do my best to get you on. I always have more callers than I have time for. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a terrific start of next week. We start the Angelic Attendant training for October on Saturday, so I'm thrilled with that. And then my graduate groups. I've got 2 graduate groups of angelic attendant people, and we get together once a month. Anybody that wants to come, and it's a ball. So I'll be busy on Saturday. But in the meantime, happy fall, y'all. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and meet you back here next Thursday. Sending you lots of love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.